Member is acknowledging that they are attending the meeting via Zoom and that they are located in Wayne County, Michigan, unless otherwise stated when I call your name. Commissioner Varga,
I'm present. I'm zooming in from West Branch, Michigan.
Commissioner Palomera,
I am here in Mackinac Island.
Commissioner Baker McCormick has requested an excuse. Commissioner Dobb has requested an excuse. Commissioner Baydoun,
I'm here.
Commissioner Anderson,
Present, and the chair has also asked for an excuse. I think I mentioned that at the beginning.
you have a quorum present.
Okay. First item on the agenda is chair's remarks. I'm filling in for the chair today. He had something that was pressing that he had to be at. So on to the next item on the agenda, Madam Clerk.
C, approval of the August 24th, 2021 meeting minutes.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Baydoun, supported by Commissioner Varga, was it?
Yes.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Seeing none, the minutes for the August 24th meeting have been approved. Next item, Madam Clerk.
D, unfinished business. There is none listed.
All right, I have nothing. Moving on the agenda.
Item 1, under new business, requesting commission approval of a 3-year recipient agreement with the 1-year option to renew with the city of Dearborn.
Okay, we just wanted to let everyone know that wasn't on at the beginning of the call before the meeting actually started. We're going to take items 1, 2, and the addenda, which is the same type of an item. We're going to take all 3 of them before we move to the presentation by Anthony Cartwright on the land bank.
I will move for approval.
Would you like to move to approve all 3? Can we do
Yes.
that, Madam Clerk?
Yes.
I'd like to move Lincoln Parks.
Oh, that's right. That's
Please.
right. So Commissioner Baydoun will move item 1, and Commissioner Varga will do, I believe it was 2 and 3. Right, right. If
Yes.
that's, Madam Clerk, that's all right, right? Or do we need to take them separately?
Joe, is that okay?
I'll support.
This is Felicia. Can we take those separately? We don't have a maker of the motion really for committee. So if you don't mind, just to make
Sure.
sure the records is clear, if we can just take those 2 motions
Okay.
separately.
We'll take item
Okay.
1 first. Commissioner
Moved by
Baydoun,
Baydoun.
Support.
supported by Joey.
Palomera.
Yes, Glenn. Thanks.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Madam Chair, do we need to, or Madam Clerk, do we need to have a roll call vote on those or just a voice vote? Or Madam, I guess I should ask Felicia if she's there.
The preference is a roll call vote, but I believe it's clear that everyone has voted yes and that we don't have any nays or abstentions on this. So the record will be clear for item 1.
Okay, thank you. Okay, all those in favor again? Aye.
Aye.
Yeah.
Aye.
Okay, that item is passed. Item 2.
I would like to move 2 and 3, please.
Okay.
Support.
Item
Baydoun.
2 and 3 have been moved and supported.
It'll be 2 and 4.
Our party, oh
Oh,
yes,
2 and
Right.
4.
2 and 4. Okay.
Sorry.
And moved by Commissioner Varga, supported by Commissioner, I believe it was
Baydoun.
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 Yes. Okay. All those in favor of these items? Both
Aye.
items?
Aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Seeing none opposed, item is moved and approved. We have next item on the agenda. Madam Clerk.
Item 3, a presentation by Anthony Cartwright on the Wayne County Land Bank Corporation.
Mr. Cartwright, are you there?
I am here. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good. I think Kelly is going to share her screen there. Can you enable Kelly Bills to be able to share her screen, please?
Madam Clerk, can you do that?
She can share her screen now.
Okay.
I'm going to take a couple minutes of your time, give you guys an update on what's going on with the land bank. I know a couple of the commissioners asked for, an update of what's happening. What is the land bank? What are we doing? So that's what we're here for, to give you guys that. You go ahead and go to the next slide. All right. The land bank is what we are. We're focused on returning tax foreclosed and abandoned properties to productive use. We want to contribute to the tax revenue for the county and promote the rehabilitation across municipalities. We got three main objectives of our operations, and they are preserving and increasing property values throughout Wayne County and actively developing land, underutilized and blighted properties. We want to engage in community development projects that promote health, safety, and wellness for Wayne County community and Wayne County residents. And we want to work with the state, local, and nonprofit partners to dedicate distressed properties for public use. Next slide. Before I get deep dive into it, I want to introduce you to our staff. We are a staff of 6. We have one open position that we're looking to fill right now. But right now we're a staff of 6. Our Deputy Director, Jake Parcell, I don't think is here today, but I'll go into Kelly, and Kelly, just introduce yourself, and Kelly, then Crystal, and Colin, and Mara, go ahead and introduce yourself to the commissioners.
Good morning, everyone. I'm the program manager at the Land Bank, and I'm responsible for the day-to-day internal admin functions, including oversight of our budget and maintenance program. I've been with the county for the last 4 years and come from a legal background as a legal assistant.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Crystal Brooks, and I'm General Counsel for the Wayne County Land Bank. I'm responsible for handling all of our legal matters, as well as overseeing our core legal programs, including quiet title and nuisance abatement. I've been with the county for about 1.5 years now, and prior to that, I was in the private sector. I worked as in-house counsel for a major title insurance company.
Hello, my name is Colin Roach. I've been with the county since 2017. I am the property disposition manager, so I handle all the dispositions, acquisitions, sales. I've been here interning actually since 2016 as well, so I've been with the county for quite a long time.
Good morning. My name is Mara. I joined the team in July after receiving my master's from Michigan State in urban planning. My role really entails managing the land bank's inventory, providing any research and data analysis. I use a lot of GIS to get to my results. And I'm just happy to be here.
Thank you, team. We got a great team, small but forceful. They do a great job. I took over the land bank about maybe 6 months ago. And the team has been very, very excellent in getting everything done we need to get done, and assisting developing new programs that the land bank would like to do. Next slide. Our current inventory of the land bank, we got about 1,071 properties. We cover in 29 communities right now. As you can see, is a breakdown of the properties. Most of them are in Highland Park, got a lot in Romulus. But those are the breakdown of the properties. You guys can look at your leisure to those later. I think Joseph does have the slides. Next slide. And this is just a spot map of the classification of the properties, where they are, what kind of properties they are, and just a spot map of the slide, right, of the properties. What we do at the land bank is we have a lot of programs to get by, and that's really the main focus on getting with you guys today, so you can tell your communities, your municipalities, the kind of programs that the land bank does have to offer. I know the land bank gets a lot of negative press, negative energy going around the municipalities and things like that. We want to change that mindset of the land bank. And a lot of people don't know what kind of properties, what kind of programs the land bank does have. And I'm gonna go over with you right now. One of our main programs is our SILOT program. And that's designed to turn vacant, publicly owned, non-tax foreclosed properties into yards, driveways, gardens for Wayne County residents. Under this program, the land bank identifies suitable properties and works with nearby eligible residents to purchase them at a discounted price. The land bank operates a streamlined process and can deliver a deed in a matter of days. We sell these lots for as low as $250. So this is a great program for a side lot. If you know somebody got a resident is worried about their lot on the side that the land bank owns being not maintained properly or anything of that sort, you know, they can call. They just want to buy the land and do something else with the land. They can definitely call us and get a hold of that side lot next to their property. Next slide. We also have a rehab program, which is a really great program. We get a lot of applications for this program. The goal of the rehab program is to remediate blight in local communities and return distressed property to productive use. Most properties are sold out of land bank's inventory are offered under the rehab program. When purchasing the property from the land bank, the new owner is asked to complete certain baseline rehab actions, which must generally be completed within 3 months. So they need to bring the property without blight, up to code, things of that sort. The cost in return for completing these obligations, the land bank prices these properties below market value, and the land bank supports new owners who wish to invest directly into the properties and create a real difference in their community. Next slide. Another great one that we get a lot of applications for is our Porch Project. The Porch Project is a repair program and it's funded by MSHDA. They don't give us a lot of money, so we're actually looking for some banks, outside resources to enhance that program so we can get some more repairs done to people's homes. These funds are currently being used in the Frenchman's Cove neighborhood and Ecorse. We do pockets, so if we get more funds, then we can go out to more communities and do more pockets of these programs. The program, our current grant, our previous grants were $25,000 from MSHDA. This year we got an increase in that grant up to $42,500 from MSHDA. So that was great for the land bank. Municipal partnership programs. Land bank is proud to work closely with a number of municipalities across Wayne County to tackle distressed properties, blight, and disinvestment. Interested municipalities are invited to sign an intergovernmental agreement with the land bank, which gives the community access to all land bank services that we're telling you about right now. Next slide. We got an Occupy program. We don't want to kick people out of their homes, all right? So that's not what the land bank does. I know that's what the land bank is known for, taking the properties of foreclosures. But if you live in a property, we're going to try to work with you to stay in your home. The land bank, you have to be an authorized occupant. It's land bank's core goal to prevent homelessness and vacancy whenever possible by keeping qualified occupants in their property, providing them with a path towards home ownership. We give them great plans. In a situation where the property is uninhabitable or the occupant lacks the resources to become a homeowner, the land bank works with the occupant for a partner, the Financial Empowerment Center, devise alternate solutions for these occupants to stay in their homes. The last thing we want to do is kick people out of their homes because they can't afford their taxes. So we try to help them in that situation. Our demo program, which we are really trying to focus on a lot this year with our demolition. We were trying to eliminate blight, and we had a lot of structures. When I took over the land bank, I noticed we had a lot of structures that are half together, that are half fire burned down. So I got the team really focusing on looking at these properties, creating a demolition list. I'm working with Terry's office on trying to get most of these properties demolished. Our goal is by the end of 23 to have pretty much all of our properties that are on our demo list demolished. Next slide. Another program we got is our NAP program, our nuisance abatement program. The land bank is a partner on legal action. We follow with the court, address the abandoned, dilapidated properties that pose blight to the neighborhood. Through this process, the land bank community work to gain control of the property and hold the absentee owner accountable, ensuring that the blight is remediated. It costs about $6,000 per complaint, and your complaint can get you about 25 properties. Another program, which is a good moneymaker for us, is our Quiet Title program. The Land Bank helps the community clear title to public-owned property by placing selected properties through a Quiet Title program. The Quiet Title process helps remove clouds on property titles, making it easier to finance these homes and sell the properties or do whatever you want to do. Once you buy a property from the tax auction or any kind of auction, there are a lot of clouds on the title that need to be, if anybody knows real estate, there are a lot of clouds on the title that needs to be handled prior to a person being able to do anything with that property. So we do a Quiet Title at a great rate of $1,500 per property, and it's been a good moneymaker for the Land Bank. Multifamily housing, the Wayne County residents, particularly young professionals and retirees, express a preference for living in apartments and townhouses rather than detached single-family homes. Yet communities often lack inventory to satisfy this demand. As an effort to change the situation, Land Bank partners with interested communities to explore funding and development opportunities for multifamily housing. So we definitely want to look at the future with the millennials, and these guys are really looking for housing that are multifamily apartment style, townhouse style units as opposed to the suburban single family residential. So we definitely want to address that crowd. And this is our newest program. Those are programs I already had. This program here just passed through the Land Bank Board this month. I'm going to dive a little deeper into this program because you guys might get questions about it from the media sources, from your constituents, from your community. So I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into this program. This is our 2021 Right of First Refusal program. Next slide. A little bit of background about the program. We saw, well, not we, but they saw a need that the foreclosure and eviction moratoriums resulted in less inventory. We had moratoriums, the Land Bank didn't get a lot of inventory, so we had to figure out a way to make up that inventory. And past auctions have experienced despeculation, and the auctions were just recycling properties back to the treasurer. So they really wasn't getting on the tax rolls. They really wasn't doing, the tax auction wasn't doing what it was designed to do. There were a lot of people that were purchasing properties outside the country, outside the city, outside the county. And we wanted to see how we can help our own residents who live near the county, who want to develop the communities, get a little bit better access to these properties. So for the first time, MCL 211-78M, that granted opportunity for the Land Bank to exercise the first right of refusal for parcels that got foreclosed on by the treasurer. And the process started where the state Land Bank, the states get the first opportunity to get the property. Then the local city, village, or township gets an opportunity. They don't want it, then the county gets an opportunity. If they don't want it, then the land banks get the opportunity after that. So with this new law, we saw some opportunity that can come for the land bank. We saw some opportunity to possibly return some properties to tax rolls. We saw some opportunity to encourage local stakeholders, developers, and residents to purchase development in the other areas. We saw some opportunities for the Wayne County residents to receive priority over non-local investors. That was very important to us. We saw some opportunity to strengthen development requirements for purchasers because the tax auction just simply does not have any development requirements for anybody purchasing these properties from the auction. You know, they can buy, they sit there, they accumulate tickets, they don't pay the taxes. So this is a good way we control developmental efforts for it. And we saw the use to reduce the cycle of the speculators. Like I said, the property's going back to the tax auction. To the treasurer, sorry. So what we did is this year the tax.
Question?
Yes.
Yes, Commissioner Varga.
When you're selling properties to people, I do have a person who buys properties all over downriver, fixes them up, but never goes to even get a permit to fix it up. This has been my eyesore for a long time, trying to get this remedied. They pay taxes last minute, so those properties don't go to auction. Do we make sure that before you sell, the land bank sells, that all taxes are paid?
When the land bank sells a property to a resident, the taxes are paid up. They're paid up at that time. Now, when after that person purchases the property, they have 2 to 3 years to go ahead and pay their taxes. That's the normal program. The RRR program that we're talking about now is going to be a little bit more strenuous on them to pay their taxes than that first year immediately. So yeah, so we did bake that into the program to have them pay their taxes. So the RRR program definitely has a little bit more tougher parameters for qualifications than the regular programs.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Commissioner Varga. Mr. Cartwright, I wanted to ask you also sort of a follow-up on that question. How about the when it's a property in need of rehabilitation, how long do they have to do that, to rehabilitate that property and get it in a livable condition where there's a certificate of occupancy that's been approved by the local community?
Well, it's with this RR program, we're gonna take it by we're gonna have development agreements basically. So we're normally gonna give everybody probably about 2 years, but if it's in a situation where it's a new build or the property, you know, basically just a new build or something else or more elaborate project, we may give them a little longer, but the baseline for that is going to be 2 years.
Are they going to, at least during those 2 years, have to keep the property to a certain safety level for the community?
Absolutely, absolutely. That's definitely a certain safety level. That's building now. If they buy a property that we already have, if they buy a property that we already have that's in a blighted state, then they get 6 months to get that property out of that blighted state.
Okay. Good.
2 years to finish the project, 6 months to get out of that blighted state.
And you mentioned about quieting titles a little bit ago. Does the land bank work with the register of deeds in quieting those titles, or is it handled some other way strictly and not or exclusive of the register of deeds?
We work with our title company partners to work with to get those quiet titles, and our legal is on here, Crystal Brooks. She can elaborate if she wants to on that. But normally work with our title companies to get those titles quieted. And yes, we work the registry. How it works is they have to actually sign the property over to us while we're doing that, quiet the title, and then we'll sign it back to them once it's finished and done.
Because I don't think they could, register deeds probably couldn't record a new owner unless the title was already quieted, right?
No, they can record a new owner, but that new owner will have a bunch of things, items, clauses on their title that they're not looking to have on their title. So they'll have a new owner, but there might be a bunch of liens on the title still. I mean, you can have a new owner, you can just change the name on the title, but that's not going to get rid of all the deficiencies and markups and things that are on the title. So the register of deeds does not have that kind of access. The title companies have to do that with the attorneys.
Regarding the title companies, how do we select those title companies? Is that a bidding process?
We have those title companies. We have a current title company selected. We're in talks right now to do an RFP to get another one on board because we're starting to get a lot more quiet titles.
Okay. And last thing I have right now is I'd like to see more detail on the properties that are within the communities. So we're able to share that information with our locals in case they have some ideas and to develop the properties or something they'd like to work with the land bank on. Can you get us more details on by community what those what those properties are?
Absolutely, we'll do that. There's some more slides going down that's going to give you a little bit more detail of our RR. But if you're in the meantime, they can just go to WayneCountyLandBank.com, and every property that we have is on the website.
Okay, all right.
We don't pick and choose. We put everything on there.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Right, and somebody on my team, can you guys put that website on in the chat for us so they can see that, please? Thank you. All right, so next slide, please.
Commissioner Anderson, I had a question.
Oh,
while
I'm
we're-
sorry, Commissioner Baydun, sorry.
Mr. Cartwright, I think you pretty much touched on my question, but let me just elaborate a little bit more. I'm assuming all of these properties that are in the land bank, they were offered at the auction at the tax foreclosure, and they probably were not sold, and now they're in the land bank. And when you convey these properties to the new owners, they're conveyed by a quitclaim deed. I don't think you can do a warranty deed because of the issue you just touched on, the clouds on the title. Then the new owner will have to do a quiet title on the property. Or you guys, you just said that they, the county can do the quiet title, because a lot of people, if they get this via quitclaim deed, they cannot refinance, they can't do anything if there's clouds on the title. But I think you mentioned that. I'd be interested, like Commissioner Anderson mentioned, the types of properties. I only saw one property in Dearborn. I'm probably assuming this is a side lot, probably between residential homes, maybe, right?
Yeah, that is a side lot. That is a vacant lot in Dearborn. Now, those properties that we gave you were just properties that we took out of the auction for the right of refusal process. All right, so those properties that you've seen, oh, no, you're talking about the earlier slide when I gave you the whole, yeah. So yeah, we got one property in Dearborn. We don't get much in Dearborn, Commissioner Baydun. It either sells at the tax auction, or first of all, it's not a lot of foreclosures there anyway. But
yeah,
if they are 90% of the time, those properties are going to sell before it gets to the land bank.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. You can go to the next slide, Kelly. So what we did is I think we didn't skip that, but make a long story short, we spent about $460,000 on these properties for the RR program. As of September 7th, we have $4.8 million in cash on hand, and that's cash that we accumulated over the last 4 years through the programs that I went over with you guys earlier, along with the 550 program that we have. I didn't go over it with you, but that's when the county gets 50% of the tax, the land bank gets 50% of the tax revenue over the first 5 years of the purchase. So that's another money maker for us. With this RR program, we estimated we're going to triple our money that we spent, and we're going to get revenue from the 550 program. So we're going to look at it. We're going to realize a little bit over $2 million over the next 3 years to help our budget. And we're going to spend about $50,000 in maintenance on these properties. So it's going to be a win-win. This program is going to be a win for the land bank and for the community. Next slide. This is just a breakdown of acquisition costs. You go to the next slide, Kelly. And then you see at the bottom right there, it say we're going to spend about $460,000. And if we sell them all at SEV, which is still a discount to the purchaser, like I said, we're going to triple that money when we get back. Next slide. So we got 87 properties out of the RR process. We got 87 properties out of there. There's a breakdown of where the properties are. Most of them, I don't know if you guys know, but the tax auction this year was basically all unoccupied properties. All right, so everything that we got is unoccupied and vacant land out the RR properties. The treasurer did not foreclose on any occupied properties in the tax auction this year. Next slide. And it's another overview of where the properties are. We got out the RR program. You go ahead, Kelly.
Mr. Cartwright, hold on just one moment. I wanted to
go back.
Someone has a question. Marcy, our Auditor General. Marcy, would you like to address the question or ask the question?
Sure. Our office had done an audit of the ROR program in the past, and we were told at that time that they weren't going to bring the program back. So we have a question regarding how will you determine who's going to be the purchaser? Will there be RFPs for the developer, or will they be sold just to individual purchasers?
All right, so this is the first year for the RR program. You're probably talking about the Action Before Auction program, which is a little slightly different than the right of refusal program. So yes, there are going to be development agreements with anybody who's looking to purchase this property. They're going to be separate development agreements than what we have already. They're going to be centralized development agreements. So yes, a developer can purchase if they bring us a good enough plan, good enough agreement, and a resident can purchase if they bring us a good enough plan, a good enough agreement. And we really want to, the side lots that we got out of the RR, we really want to try to get them to the residents and to the neighborhood as opposed to a huge developer. Unless that developer is going to bring us something that really catches our eye, that everybody's going to agree is going to better their community.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead with your presentation, please.
Okay, go ahead, Kelly. All right, so yeah, this is just an overview. You can go through all those. This is an overview of where the properties are that we got from the RR satellite view. You can keep going, Kelly, through all of these. That's the Plymouth Canton satellite view, Taylor Westland satellite view, Belleville, Romulus, New Boston, Flat Rock satellite view of the properties. And here's just a couple of properties that we took out of the tax auction for the process. So you can see we chose properties that we were not likely to get back, of course, in the auction, that were probably likely to sell, that probably likely and out of the state, out of the country investor probably would have purchased, that we want to give our local people the opportunity to be able to purchase these properties. There's 2 in Belleville, 1 Livonia there. Those are vacant lots. Next slide. And these are some structures that we pulled out. You see they're in not bad shape, a little bit of TLC, and these properties will be good. These are the type of properties we want to kind of get in the homeowners' hands as opposed to investors' hands. So we want to, try to get these properties in homeowners' hands, help them out, get them, and get them, turn more people into homeowners. This is one in Dearborn, Commissioner Baby, and that's the only one in the Dearborn we had, and it's on Home Place. And the other ones are in Belleville and one in New Boston there. And this is how we want to dispose of these properties. We're going to put a special tab on our website, and we're going to actively mark the new RR property. So on our website, there's going to be our properties that we already have, that we got, that failed the tax auction. But then we're going to have a separate tab on our website that we're going to develop for these particular properties, because these particular properties are going to be in better shape and they're going to have a better end use than the ones that we get defaulted from the treasurer. We're going to reach out to local developers and municipalities, assist in advertising and disposing of these new properties. And the properties required, the RRs must follow new established policies and procedures and enter into development agreements, which I think you guys were talking about earlier. Next slide. Embedded in these development agreements, we're going to have return of property to functional use. Some criteria for development agreements will be, we're going to negotiate a good timeline for development, a good fair timeline for development. We're going to have a minimum investment amount for development. Maintenance is going to be, health and safety and maintenance is going to be a very important part of these development agreements. And there are going to be penalties for non-performance that are going to be a little bit more strict than purchasing from the tax auction, including taking the property back if any of our development agreements is not adhered to. We have a sample development agreement we can send you guys upon request that you can get to us. Next slide. We can get to you guys. Next slide. Again, the financials. Again, we're going to spend about $462,000. We're going to realize about 1.6, and we're going to get the 550 revenue also. Next slide. And we're going to monitor the program. The program is nothing unless we're going to monitor the program. We're going to keep it up. So we're not going to just send them out on their own. We're going to understand what the community wants, municipalities wants and needs. We're going to try to get that, understand to the fullest ability, so that person who's developing his land, developing his property, we want to work with the community with them for zoning, things like that, whatever they have to work with the community and municipalities. We're going to have communication between the community and engagement between municipalities, organizations. We're going to strengthen that more frequently in 2021. I don't think, doing my research with this, there has not been a lot of communication between the land bank and the municipalities. And I think that's is very much needed in developing these communities. And the 2021 RR process create framework for the land bank to be more actively involved in future property acquisition developments and affordable housing opportunities. And another thing that we offer is technical support. I mean, we're going to start offering technical support to the community, to municipalities. We'll help you. Call the land bank. We'll help you with inventory management. We'll help you with program management. We'll help you with mapping and GIS software. We'll help you with project development. So we are definitely inclined to be engaged in the community big time. And we want to help the community and municipalities, take themselves to the next level. So in order to do that, we're going to help you guys. We're going to help them get there. We're going to provide technical assistance to help them get there. And if this is all said and done, our goals for the next year or two, or next year and a half, we're going to implement the RR program within Wayne County communities. We want to increase our grant funding opportunities, because if we increase our grant funding opportunities, we can increase our porch projects and our other projects we have to help people fix up their homes in the community. We're going to do a virtual conference for your municipalities. You can tell them that, where we're going to kind of this presentation here, but a little bit more in depth of our programs and how we can help the communities and municipalities through outreach. We're going to get rid of our dangerous structures, and we're going to engage in non-governmental properties to assist in community development projects. We're going to engage in, banks, nonprofits, things like that, to help us with our projects that we got going on and help the community and their projects they got going on. Next slide. And finally, if anybody wants to contact us, this is all of our information. Your constituents, your communities, your municipalities can just look at our information. And all this information is on our website at www.waynecountylandbank.com. And are there any more questions on the presentation?
Mr. Cartwright, I have one more.
I have.
You may have, I'll come to you just a second, Commissioner Varga. Mr. Cartwright, I've been informed there's a commercial building at 304 West Congress, right near the Guardian building. Can that building be used by the county if it's in the land bank currently?
It can be used by the county, but that is a little skewed. That is a part of a building. So it's let me try to put it. It's not an entire building. Okay. We pulled it out of the RR because I saw that in there, and I know that we own a part of the building, and I didn't want anybody to come and stake claim to it in any way until we found out what was going on with that building, because it's not an entire building. So yes, I did pull that out through RR because I didn't want anyone coming in saying, hey, look, county, you need the rest of this building, give us $20 million. So
Right.
I did pull that out for that intents and purposes. So once we get it surveyed exactly what do we own in that building, then yeah, we're going to probably look at conveying that building to the county.
If you would give us an update on it once you determine the ownership, I'd appreciate it.
Well, we put it on RR, so the land bank does own that particular, but how much of it
Right.
is we got to figure it out.
That's what I'm talking about. Thank you.
All right, absolutely.
Commissioner Varga?
Thank you. I have come across some people who are, say in their late 30s, 40s. Their credit score isn't quite high enough to purchase a home on the market. Is there any way that we could work with banks and have them loan under criterias like, okay, if you have one or two people working in the household and they make a certain amount of money, but they don't have the credit score to be able to go get the normal housing under the market, open market. I would love to see us somehow help these younger crowd who really need housing, are tired of renting, and they would like to be homeowners.
Yeah, that is a program.
How can you help with that?
Thank you, Commissioner Varga. As far as that, the land bank, we sell property. So if we can find a land bank home that we can work with the bank on selling them that land bank home, so we can develop or help work with the banks, develop a program. We do have meetings for Flagstar and TCF coming up, so we can definitely put that into our equation with those meetings. Let me put on my real estate director hat for a minute, Commissioner Vargas. There are programs out there right now for those kind of people. All right, so I know Bank of America has a program called NACA. Chase has a program where it's not credit score driven. So all they're looking for in these programs is you have to go to counseling, you have to do some home buyer education workshops, you have to do these kind of things, but the approval rate is 100%. So the approval rate is 100% on these. So what they're going to have to do is go to some of these programs, and these programs are not looking at your credit score. They're solely looking at your income, what you can afford, and have you been paying your bills on time for the last year, last 12 months. Once you get that established and once they get you through their programs, you're going to get approved for a mortgage at 100% financing with no mortgage closing costs.
Wow.
Those programs are out here like that. And if you want to call me later, I can probably
Did
direct
you
to some
say-
good people. I'm listening.
I will call you later. Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
One other real quick thing, Mr. Cartwright, I believe there's a new federal guidelines that have come through too on some, as far as the the typical way a buyer is rated, whether it be a credit score or whether it be past paychecks, and they've changed the criteria. The Biden administration, I think, has, and I don't know if that's taken effect yet, but that's another option. And then also, Commissioner Varga, the two projects, or the two subrecipient agreements between Wayne County and Lincoln Park in particular might be an avenue too, with Terry Carroll. But anyway, that's all I have. Are there any other commissioners that have questions? And I want to thank you, Mr. Cartwright, for the presentation, and your staff, and giving us additional information on the programs that you have and what the land bank does. Are there any other, ask one more time, are there any other commissioners that have questions, members of the committee? Any other
Did
commissioners?
we get these emailed to us, Mr. Chair? Did we get this emailed to us? The presentation?
Yes, it was by Joe. Joe did that this morning. Joe Slezak did that for us.
Okay, thanks, Joe. I'm just checking now. Okay.
Yep, through the
Thank
chair.
you.
I emailed them at about 9:15 this morning, so.
Thanks, Joe, for doing that.
That's why I didn't see it. Okay.
And,
Thank you.
Thank you for your time, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
And
Great job.
we can move the agenda then, Madam Clerk.
F, such other matters as may be properly submitted before the committee.
I'm not aware of any. Are you yourself, Madam Clerk?
I don't have anything.
Okay. Any other commissioner? Seeing none, we'll move the agenda.
Public comments.
Okay. Do we have anyone on from the public that wishes to make a comment or have a question? Have we received anything in writing, Madam Clerk?
No, we have not received any
Okay.
emails.
As far as anyone that's indicated on the call, the Zoom call, do we have anyone on there?
Are you still in a meeting?
Would you unmute everyone for a moment and we can see if there's anyone?
Everyone's unmuted.
Okay. Anyone from the public wishing to make a comment or have a question? Anyone from the public? I see none. Madam Clerk, do you see any?
No.
Okay. Let's move the agenda then.
Adjournment.
So moved.
It's been
Move
moved.
to adjourn. Palomero.
Supported. The committee meeting is adjourned. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Good meeting, Glenn.
Thank you.